What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and there are few places on the internet that I will actively say should be avoided. Few places of no redemption. There are few places on the internet that I can honestly say it's not just a few bad apples, it's the whole bunch. And the forum known as Reset Era, it's a meme. It's full of vile, sad, angry people who spend their days doxing people they don't like, demanding censorship, and dogpiling others which they disagree with. They've, in my lifetime, doxed one of my employees because they didn't like a joke he made, to which led to thousands of phone calls getting put to, not thousands, but phone calls being made to his grandparents, telling them he was a terrible person and all sorts of stuff. This is Reset Era, okay? To give you, Red Letter Media fans an idea who you're dealing with here, these are the people that, again, did Reset Era orchestrate the censorship of Persona 5 Royale? Previously reported on changes coming to Persona 5 English's localization over outcry of how two NPCs were portrayed. We have now learned that Reset Era may have orchestrated some of these complaints. In summary, Persona 5 featured two stereotypically gay NPCs who pushed both Ryuji and the protagonist, much to the latter's horror. The scene involves them were played for comic relief. Atlus representatives then confirmed in two separate interviews that they would be changing the scene in the English localization, not portraying the characters in a negative light, or, as the butt of a joke, essentially. Now, while Atlus cite fans of the original games, another contributing factor may have come from the online forum Reset Era. Founded after NeoGAF imploded after allegations of terrible behavior made against their owner, the forum quickly gained a reputation for going after developers they felt were producing games that were, quote, hateful, or showed content that they felt was, quote, bigoted. Some developers would then censor, otherwise change the content of their games. This includes the English fan translation of Gomod 3, Ion Fury, later rolled back, and even one user being the sole person behind review brigading, what is this, the Somnium Files? I mean, it is a den of terrible people. These are the same people. There is an Ion Fury. There's a game called Ion Fury. They had two kind of lame jokes. There was a soap. Instead of being called Oil of Olay, it was called Oil of Ogay. Like, yeah, it's a middle school joke, but is it really hurting anybody? Like, and that's the kind of stuff that Reset Era gets up and doxes people over. You could see Ion Fury. And then after, by the way, Ion Fury did remove the content after these people were harassing them for days. Then the fans of the actual game said, no, we're not buying your game if you bend the knee. So then they had to go back and put it back in. And then, of course, you get 25-page thread about how they're the most evil purple people ever. Game is trash. They walk back their way and walk back impressive. This is extremely disappointing. And all this kind of stuff. So these people love their control. It's also populated by a lot of game developers and powerful people in the industry who are fine with the behavior here. And you see, why doesn't Red Letter Media get more pushback? I'm not even sure if I'm judging here. You are. This is somebody who is looking for their confirmation bias here. I'm curious. I've been rewatching a bunch of their episodes, and they repeatedly, and I mean very repeatedly, go off about, and these aren't my words, the gays, midgets, females, and the mentally challenged. Okay. No evidence, though. You said they repeatedly do it. You provided 0 links, 0 timestamps. So we'll just take your word for it, weird anime avatar. They also don't get tired of implying social justice warriors in production, messing with movies and similar types of criticism. Be it fair or not, I don't know. That said, they have some episodes that they sort of make fun of the, quote, stop putting females in my movies crowd as well. But how honest is it really if you do the same jokes a week later? Essentially saying, yeah, these guys clearly aren't like that plugged in or pick a side. But when when they say something I don't like, they're telling the truth. When I say something that goes against my preconceived notion of these men, then they're lying. So since there's a sizable movie and freelance critic fan base on Era, what are the thoughts on this? Am I completely wrong here? And it's all just in good fun. Here we go. Seriously, I keep seeing people left and right talk them up, even among other relatively progressive fandoms. And it super rubs me the wrong way. I don't want anything to do with a bunch of edgy reactionaries. I don't know what content they're referring to. I mean, I don't watch every video they do, but they come across as like just regular Midwestern dudes. I think they're actually from Wisconsin or Milwaukee. Not everybody lives on the internet. Not everybody spends all day looking for things to be outraged by. A lot of the humor in their older material has absolutely not aged well. Although I admit, I did love it like 9 to 10 years ago. Well, you've grown up now, right? Yeah, I get it. I think they've considerably cleaned up their act in recent years. They've still seen them occasionally take a joke out of the, quote, SJW perspective, but I don't watch them a whole bunch. I imagine they've steadily matured over time or just scaled things back. Okay. And here we find the real reason. These people are still holding on to them not liking Captain Marvel. I pretty much stopped watching after their Captain Marvel half in the bag. I'd had suspicions about them holding dated viewpoints for a while, particularly Rich, but that video was an embarrassment. These people are the same type of people that continue to bring up me dunking on She-Ra from 5 years ago. Maybe 3 years ago. However many years ago it was. At least 2 years ago. The guys who did that Star Wars prequel video 100 years ago, they were never on my radar. Really? They're like the third or fourth biggest movie review channel on YouTube. It's so funny. Like, these people, and it's a whole thread. Their bulk of their jokes lately have been an abundance of streaming services, lazy remarks, and the death of the theater experience and the blockbuster. The things they mention seem to take less and less place, which says to me that they are maturing. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that Reset Era is passing, is approving of these guys who have no idea who they even are. It usually irks me, like Joe Rogan, who I can't listen to anymore, but for some reason it doesn't bother me as much with these guys. They are, at least now, typical white, sarcastic centrists as far as I know. Still, their reviews, for example, where they are far less jokes. I mean, this is very weak. This is super, super weak criticism, but there's still pages and pages and pages of these people being upset about them. I stopped watching when they made an unnecessary joke while talking about the Godzilla movies. Something like, "Did you assume gender?" Which told me the type of guys they were. Yeah, you can't make a joke at all. Their Star Wars stuff was embarrassing, and so was how people flocked around them and their Mr. Plinkett character. When they reviewed Captain Marvel by dumping on feminism and not for a second talking about the movie, I knew I'd want not to see any of that stuff. I mean, Captain Marvel was objectively a poor movie. Was it a 2 out of 10? No. A 3 out of 10? No. It was a 6, a 5, or a 6, just like normal. But you can see all these people, they're still holding on to the fact. And by the way, these posts go on and on and on. They're still going today. Again, I used to watch them constantly, but backed off and haven't watched any of their stuff since the Captain Marvel review. These people are so brittle. I don't even know how they get along with anybody in life. It's pathetic that you look. There are people. Look, I strongly dislike Joe Vargas's political takes on Twitter, but I still trust his video game reviews, and I'll still watch them. This is the sign of somebody who's a normal individual. This is just hilarious. So many, hundreds and hundreds. Here's the 260. We're on 270. Almost 300 comments on this. Hey guys, should we cancel? Should we cancel them? They have to make their agenda clear even when their movie was being well made. They have to send out dog whistles about perceived crime against chudhood. It doesn't commit because they couldn't resist. What? Chudhood? Reset Era is the saddest group of individuals, and the world would be a better place if this forum didn't exist and these people went outside more. I hope you enjoyed this video. I support Red Letter Media, and I'm hoping they never see this. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.